Right, so you guys have finished doing your pony sheets. Are they? Can you hold them up, or are they going to fall apart? And the stickers are gonna fall off?
We can try.
You can try.
Yes.
Thanks to the great quality stickers that Mark got.
They've been giving me so much sass about my stickers and glitter paints that I went out and bought. So there you go. You've all done those in. So you've drawn your. You got you got Lilypod, Bubblegum Blossom, and Honeymoon. The three most pony names I think you could have come up with.
Hey, gotta.
One thing we realised is, Kit, you never came up with a quirk, but you've written one down.
Yes.
So what did you go with in the end?
So he's going to be very naive and quite gullible. So
Okay.
he
sees the best in everybody.
Sees the best in everybody. So he's like, why would they lie to me?
Exactly. Okay, perfect. Right, now that you guys have got these all set up, we are going to jump straight into the game. So like I said, just a quick reminder, refresher on the rules. If you need to make a test, you roll the dice associated to that, so it'll be a d6, a d4, d8, etc. And I will have a certain number, or I might roll a dice, and you need to just beat that, basically, okay? So, it is a wonderful sunny day in Ponyville. You three have lived there for, well, you guys can decide how long you've been living in Ponyville. It's a small little village made famous by being the place where Princess Twilight Sparkle and her friends have defeated many enemies of Equestria, and her castle, which was recently sprouted, has taken root. You guys have been there for some time. You've gotten to know the locals, and each of you have actually done something of note in the town that's kind of earned a little bit of respect. So that could be maybe you helped rescue a pet that was missing, or maybe you've done something like helped a bunch of school ponies go on a field trip, or something like that. Anything that would give you the attention of the locals. And you have your own. You might have your own little places that you live, your own little houses, or you might be living together. You can have your own little flat share or something like that. But generally, it's a pretty easygoing town. Everybody's very nice, and it's generally a lovely place to be. It is on the border of something called the Everfree Forest and near Canterlot, which is kind of the capital of the lands. It is a sunny day, as I mentioned. The Pegasus have cleared the skies, the sun is bright and shiny, and everybody seems to be in a good mood, or so it seems. But there is a knock at your doors, and a rather frantic-looking male pony with grey skin and blonde hair, with sort of slightly awkward-looking eyes, hands you, has a letter in her mouth, one for each of you, and it is stamped with the seal of the Mayor of Ponyville. Mayor Mare, the Mayor, who it is stamped with an official seal, and there is one addressed to each of you. And she hands it, she kind of like smiles and then just flies off, almost flies into a tree and then swerves indirectly the other way. Basically looks like this.
So we live together, yeah? We all live together.
You can live together if you like, or you can have your own family stuff. It's up to you.
I live in a tree house in a cherry blossom tree. Okay, I'm sorry.
But you two can certainly be like.
But we're neighbours.
Yeah, you can be neighbours.
I'm definitely neighbours with you.
We're neighbours.
During the day, so I'm not too much.
You're the weird neighbour that like nobody sees.
So I guess arriving at Lilypod's house, there is a letter, one addressed to Honeymoon, who is still asleep. You know, it's probably early morning. It's like 9, 10 a.m.
I just went to bed.
Just went to bed. So bless her, she's still sleeping, but you gratefully take it from the male pony, who's just like, okay, and she flies off. One is delivered to Bubblegum Blossom, put through a little slot in the treehouse that sits in the thing, and it floats down. And yeah, it looks quite important.
I'll open it up straight away.
Crack
Just
it open.
like, what's it?
Okay.
Wait, how do I open it?
So there is actually a special rule in Tails of Equestria where it deliberately says in the rules, fingers, no problem. Like, basically assume that you can hold everything, you can open things. You might do it with your mouth. You might hold it. You can use, if you're a unicorn, you use magic.
Figurative opposable thumbs.
No,
hold it on the floor and then rip one in.
They literally hold it like they would hold a can like this, and it just kind of magnetizes. Just think of it like that. Yeah, they can just hold stuff like that, but you might delicately open it with your mouth and things like that.
No, I don't delicately.
Just like tear it apart. Lilypod, do you open yours as well?
Yes, I open mine, but I put Honeymoon's to one side because I'm like, it looks important, but I don't want to wake her up.
You want to open it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. The letter does read, Dearest Ponies, I write to you regarding an urgent and troubling matter. Princess Twilight Sparkle instructed me to seek your help if something were ever to happen in Ponyville while she and her friends were away, and I'm afraid that such a time has arrived. Please head to my home at the centre of town as quickly as possible. Mayor Mare. And it's stamped. And you can see that the Dearest Ponies, it has 3 names under it. It has Honeymoon, Lilypod, and Bubblegum.
Oh, I jump out of my tree and I go and you guys, did you guys get a letter?
You hear
Have you
like
seen
this
this?
frantic knocking as Bubblegum Blossom comes scootering over.
Yeah. So I wake Honeymoon up.
You got a letter?
Yeah, did you guys get a letter?
Yeah, we got letters too.
Oh, does it say the same thing? Like what?
Well, what did yours say?
No, we got
You can hear it outside
an
the
important
door.
mission thing. Is it also an important mission?
It certainly seems
I
to be.
read it.
I've read it so fast, I don't know.
Yeah. What were we talking about again?
You guys are being so loud.
But you got a letter.
Okay, there's also something. Read it, and I just shove it in your face.
Okay, hold on a second.
She's not had her pony coffee yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm
There is
sorry.
a point you can have pony coffee, yeah. You can get a hayseed and pumpkin latte if
Oh,
you need
lovely.
Go for one of those right now.
So, Honeymoon, when you read it, it takes you a couple of tries, like
Yes.
just trying to focus. Yeah, it says, Dearest Ponies, I write to you in an urgent
Oh,
troubling
it's for
matter.
ponies. It's not for me. There must be a mistake.
Just go with it.
Okay.
I write to you regarding an urgent and troubling matter. Princess Twilight Sparkle instructed me to seek your help if something were to ever happen in Ponyville while she and her friends were away, and I'm afraid that such a time has arrived. Please head to my home at the centre of town as quickly as possible.
Carry me.
Just flops.
All right.
Okay.
And they're on the fly. This is
We get a wing each.
Could I give Honeymoon like a caffeinated bubblegum?
Yes.
It's like, I got you, friend.
Ooh,
Have this.
thank you.
It'll perk you right up.
It's like, yeah. It
Yeah,
kind of
don't
has a
swallow it.
bit of a
Oh,
zing.
oh.
She's swallowed it already.
It'll come out eventually.
I mean, hopefully.
Oh.
Okay, I feel like I can last another hour now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's just enough. Luckily, Mayor Mare's is not too far from where you guys are staying in Ponyville. Mayor Mare's is a large circular building, kind of 3-tiered, right in the centre of Ponyville. Although Princess Twilight Sparkle's castle has kind of become more of a centrepiece now than anything else. But when you arrive, you hurry your way through Ponyville, and you can see that what you first mistook as like people being excited about a new day, you can see that there's quite a few both older ponies and younger ponies running around looking for something. They seem to be searching all around the town. You can see them opening up crates, poking their heads in, a few of them like checking rooftops or hay bales, and they seem to be desperately searching around the town looking for something. And everybody seems to be in a bit of a tiz.
Oh,
What's every pony looking for?
I know. Let's ask
Where's
him.
this energy
This is what the rest of us do during the day.
Oh, it's awfully crowded. I do the stuff at night. There's nobody around. It's much easier. Anyway, so what's happening? what's going on?
Do you want to go up and ask somebody?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, so you go up and you see it's a stallion, an older male pony who's got a big moustache and a
Hello
little
there.
goatee, and he wears like a little kind of like almost like a little hippie cap, like a little kind of beanie, floppy beanie. He's like, "Whoa, dude, that's like some fillies and colts have gone missing. Like the whole mayor's having a search for him. Whoa, man, it's super bad. I gotta keep searching, but if you see any fillies, like there's like 5. I don't know. I don't really know what they look like, but I'm just looking for kids."
They've just gone missing.
Yeah, like apparently, like some of them went missing last night, and the others went missing a few days ago. I don't know. And he just like looks at you like wide-eyed. He's like, I think like some of them are those sooty, dark Crusaders or something. I don't know.
The Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Yeah, that's them. They're like famous or something. They know like Princess Twilight. But if you see them, you gotta let people know. And he's like, I gotta go. And he like trots off.
We're on it. We're on it.
Okay. And yeah, you basically, you can see he joins up with another large group, which seem to be kind of moving around the town and heading out onto the outskirts. You quickly make your way to Mayor Mare's house, and you can see that it's bustling. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adult ponies and Mayor Mare, and they're all having a bit of an argument when you enter inside. And Mayor Mare, this kind of grey-haired, kind of tan-skinned, older-looking pony, horned-rimmed glasses, is like, no, Oh, now, everyone, please. We need to stay calm. We've got the whole town. Oh, my goodness. And she kind of looks over. Oh, thanks, Celestia. And she trots over. Oh, thank you. And she comes up and she, like, grabs a hoof and starts shaking it. Hey, shakes your hoof quite violently. And she's just like, oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you received my letter. Thank you so much for coming. It's a disaster. Quite a tiz we've got ourselves into. And she looks around and she's like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, she turns to the others. These are people that have been ponies that have been recommended by Princess Twilight if we ever need help. And my goodness, we need your help now. It's a bit of an emergency, you see. And she turns around and you can see that the ponies that she's gathered, some of them you recognise. You recognise Granny Smith. She's kind of like a known character around town. She heads up Sweet Apple Acres. She's kind of the old matriarch. She's been spotted around. You've probably had her cider and apple pies at some point.
The best apples.
Well, the best apples, absolutely. You also recognise another character, a stallion called Filthy Rich, and he runs lots of towns. He runs lots of shops around the town, and he's got a nice vest and a little golden pocket watch, and he looks very proper, slicked back hair, and he's just like, now, Mayor, you're saying that these three can help us find our little ones? And she's like, yes, most certainly. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help. Now, I should probably explain what's gone on. 2 nights ago, a little filly called Diamond Tiara and a new colt who's just come to Ponyville called Stutterheart went missing. Now, we didn't want to alert the town. We had people searching for them. They went missing sometime in the evening. Their school teacher, Cheerilee, told me that they were going to stay around each other's houses, but they said to their parents that they were working on a school project. So we don't know what's happened to them. To make matters worse, last night 3 more fillies went missing. Scootaloo, Apple Bloom, and Sweetie Belle. These are, you may have heard of the Cutie Crusaders. They're friends of Princess Twilight. They never returned home after going out on some adventure.
Oh no.
It's terrible.
They must have tried to help. That's why they went.
We assume so, but we've had the whole town searching and we've not turned up a single clue. And we just don't know what to do. And Princess Twilight always said if there was ever something that we couldn't solve, to turn to the 3 of you. She said that you've made quite an impression on her and the others. I do so hope you can help us. Obviously, young ponies going missing is quite the stir.
Absolutely, you can leave it to us. We'll find them.
Thank you so much. She kind of leans over conspirately to the 3 of you and she's like, I've been trying to get some information out of their parents and their guardians, but they all keep arguing with each other. They're all blaming each other for the others going missing. You might be able to, if you can convince them to calm down, you might be able to get some good answers out of them. But I've just been trying to deal with search parties and sending message to Canterlot to see if we can get some royal guards to help us. Oh, and she's like, you can see like she's got dark circles under her eyes and she looks terribly stressed.
Don't worry, we can help you out.
Oh, thank you, Bubblegum Blossom. And she like pats you on the shoulder. And she's like, thank you so much for your help. I'll go and organise some of the search parties. I'll leave you with the guard, the parents. And then she trotters her way out of the hall. And you can see as you turn around that there's lots of glum-looking faces. You can see a couple of different ponies, a couple of stallions, a couple of older mares and things like that. And they're all kind of looking at each other quite angrily, or some of them are crying and sobbing and obviously fretting about where their missing kids have gone. So
I wonder if I've got bubble gum for that. Can I have like a calming bubble? Can I have like make any type of bubble gum?
Well, your talent isn't necessarily making bubble gum.
No,
it's
this
making
is true.
shapes out of
I've
bubble
missed
gum.
a trick.
So I think that you kind of save your caffeinated one for honeymoon.
That'll only make them worse.
Yeah, well, that's it exactly. You've got a couple. But you can certainly, if you guys have got any ideas of ways you can calm them down, you can see them sort of avoiding each other. If you want to ask any questions, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, can I just go and talk to the parent that looks the most calm?
Yeah, so probably the one that looks the most calm is Granny Smith. And she's kind of like going around like, no, like kind of hobbling around with a little walking frame. And she's just like, back in my day, we wouldn't have the fillies knew not to run off late at night. And she's kind of scooting around
I know, right? I approach her. I know. Shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Too many shenanigans, I say. Well, I'm used to it with Apple Bloom, but these others, terrible
influence,
business.
I'm sure, yes. So, oh boy.
Are you all right, dear?
I'm
You
just
look a bit tired.
tired.
You should get more sleep. And she like pats you.
I know, they just woke me up. No.
You were still asleep at this time back in mine. She kind of gets a little stick and she whacks you like a little bit like, oh, you should be up with the sunrise, dear.
No, I work the other way around.
Oh, well,
Yes.
as long as you're working hard. And
Yes.
she kind of smiles.
I mean,
And her
you know,
little
I do the
dentures
rain,
kind of
I
pop a
do the
little bit.
sun, and I do the things, and then I go to sleep because it's really tiring.
Oh,
And now I'm gonna help you. Well, we're gonna help you. We're gonna try.
okay. Well, yes, it's terrible. I mean, Apple Bloom is often up to no good, but to vanish completely, I'm surprised. And she just looks completely bewildered. And you can see that the others are starting to listen in on Granny Smith. It looks like maybe they were like too focused. And you see Filthy Rich, this kind of older, he's just like, too right, Granny Smith. If it wasn't for that new boy's trouble, my diamond tiara wouldn't have vanished. She's a good girl. She's a good filly.
What do you mean by trouble?
Oh, and then another male pony who's been kind of in the back. He's kind of been quite quiet. You can see he's got frizzy blue hair, slightly pale kind of like blue body. He kind of like stumbles forward, and you can see he's kind of got a cutie mark of balancing plates, but one of them's broken. It's kind of fallen off. And he's just like, now for Filthy Rich, my boy's no trouble. And he's just like, well, he's the one that's obviously taken Diamond Tiara off on some escapade. She would never
Gentle
have done.
horses, please, calm down.
Okay,
This is way too loud.
that sounds to me like you would like to try and charm them
Okay.
into calming down.
Okay.
So you're going to take your charm dice, which is a d6.
Yes.
And you're going to roll that, and you need to beat a certain number.
That's a 3.
So what'd you get? 3?
Yes.
They kind of turn to you, and you can see Filthy Rich kind of regains a bit of his composure, and this other pony who name you don't know, you've never seen him around town before, he kind of lets out a deep breath. He's like, well, no, you're right. We should be calm about this.
Thank you very much.
I suppose he can't help the way that his son's a troublemaker. And then the other one's just like, "Bleh," and then you kind of like hold out your hands and
Yes.
your hoofs, and they kind of calm down. How can we help you, ponies?
Well, we're here to try and help you. Could you tell us anything you know about timings and when your kids started to run off, if they said anything in particular about what they were doing, if they mentioned any place?
They start thinking a little bit, and Filthy Rich, because he seems to be speaking directly to you, is like, well, now that you mention it, miss, Diamond Tiara did ask for a new camera and some extra allowance just before she went missing. Maybe that's related somehow?
Okay. And when was that?
Oh, that was just the day before she went missing, so 2 days,
2 days ago. Okay.
She asked for it just before she left for school. But I haven't seen a new camera, and she went missing that night. What are the two of you guys, what is Bubblegum Blossom and Lilypod doing at this point?
Just listening in,
Just
I
kind of
guess.
listening, you're just kind of paying attention. You're trying to,
not quite
Bubblegum Blossom,
sure.
you're kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, you're trying to listen in, but it's kind of boring.
Keep
and,
phasing
like,
out, just like
you can see that like
hungry.
there's a map of Ponyville laid out on the table, and you're like looking at that, and you can see Sugar Cube Corner, and you're thinking about desserts, and just I don't know. You're starting to phase out a little bit of like the conversation, and it's when one of the other ponies. This one is another stallion with a kind of almost like a Magnum PI moustache and a Hawaiian shirt. Kind of comes up to you and is like, you gonna help us find Sweetie Belle?
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad that we've got some ponies.
Of course, those poor little fillies. We will find them. Do you know where they went?
He looks around. He's like, well, and he starts trying to think. I don't know. I play a lot of hoofball, you see. I get a lot of hits to the head. I'm trying to remember, but it's so hard to concentrate. And he's deep in thought.
Did Sweetie Belle say anything?
She says a lot of stuff that I don't really...
I mean, about where she might have been going?
Where she might have been going. Oh, they had a Cutie Mark Crusaders meeting in their headquarters, of course. That's where she went. They always meet in their old treehouse.
Maybe we can find some clues in their treehouse.
We should
Do
go
you know
and
where
look.
that is?
Granny Smith, why, it's all
Yeah, sure.
Sweet Apple Acres.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to Sweet Apple Acres and you ask for my grandson, Big Mac. He'll show you where it is. He's out searching. He's worried frightfully so about old Apple Bloom. He's chattering away. Never seen him like it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's plenty
Oh
of useful
no,
information.
thank you. And she kind of shakes your hand vigorously again. And kind of she see her
I'm
dentures
shook.
rattle like
I'm just
kind of snap her to and fro.
I want to get gums stuck in that.
And yeah, so they all seem a bit more calmer now, and they're kind of all talking, and you get the sense now that it's more like, oh, I hope they're okay, and you know, people are trying to comfort them. The one in the Hawaiian shirt goes around, and he's consoling what appears to be his wife, wrapped an arm around her, like, oh, don't worry, darling, they'll find her, don't you worry. And she's just quietly crying a little bit. It's very sad.
Are there any sort of plants or anything?
Yeah, there's like little vases of like daisies and little flowers and things like that, all kind of scattered around.
Could I do something to kind of like make one of the flowers more impressive, kind of prettier?
Yeah.
And do I need to roll?
Yeah, so when you give me, so it would be a mind test, but because it's your special talent, making things grow, you can roll your talent die as well.
Okay.
Do you need another d6?
I do.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Okay, so 6, that is an amazing success. So you watch as Lillipod kind of, your horn glows a little bit with the green magic, and this, what was once just a kind of vase with a few little daisies and a few poppy flowers and things like that, suddenly blossoms into this wonderful bouquet. The smells fill the room. Everybody kind of lets out and they kind of look over to it, and you can see that the older pony that you didn't realise, who you think might be Stutterheart's father, kind of like, he kind of gets, his lip wobbles a little bit, and he's just like, oh, it's so beautiful. He's like, oh, that reminds me, Stutterheart told me that he'd made a friend at school, and she was going to help him with something. He said that he was going to be a brave pony from now on, or something like that. Those flowers just... and he like wipes a little tear with his hoof away, and he's just like, oh, thank you, and he like pats you on the shoulder.
I sort of give him a consoling pat, and then I take one of the flowers and I give it to the wife who was crying.
And she's just like,
and I say, try not to worry, we're going to find them.
Oh, and she's just like,
Smash them
what a wonderful stallion you are. She like cries into her husband. He's like, you're all right, hoof bump. He just kind of gives you a good little kind of
I love it.
A pound there. And yeah, it's Granny Smith just turns, she's like, you ponies are all right. You go down to Sweet Apple Acres. You ask Big Mac to take you to the tree house. He'll take you right there. Oh, good luck. Yeah, just send you on your way.
I got it.
You do a little bow. That caffeine's starting to wear off a little bit now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
You kind of stumble out of
I
Mayor
think
Mare's house.
first thing to do is we should have a nap.
We
Or
don't have time.
I think we should go and look at the Cutie Mark Crusaders headquarters first, and then we can nap.
Caffeinated bubblegum?
I'm just going to keep it going.
Don't swallow it.
That's 2 bubble gums you've spent
don't.
there.
Oh, I'm gonna get withdrawal symptom when I run out of those.
Oh.
That's 2 bubble gums you've spent now. Mark off your bubble gums.
You better enjoy it.
Well, I'm awake.
He's keeping her awake.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys make your way through Ponyville, and Sweet Apple Acres is on the outskirts. You actually have to head out of the town, down into the valleyed hills, basically. And you can see this beautiful apple orchard that stretches out quite far. Big red and pink barn sits on a big tall hill with things around that. And you can see that a big red, really bulky, quite muscular looking stallion with a big sort of, I can't remember what the name is, like a thing that he wears around his neck. Like a horse,
Like
kind of
the plough horse.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Got
like
a
a
big
harness.
harness around his neck. And he is just kind of looking really sad and kind of scuffing around, and occasionally, like, you know, you'll see him like poke his head into like a hay bale, and you hear like a muffled like blah, 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 and then it kind of pokes his head out and trudges around, and you can see him looking around trying to find one of these little missing fillies. And you see him, he's just kind of trotting around, and the apple orchard is massive, like this rows and rows of trees for miles.
Wait, can we see him?
Yeah, you see Big Mac.
Okay.
Yeah, you see.
I guess
him
we'll just
stopping.
shout, Big Mac, over here,
He
Big
like
Mac.
looks up, he's like, and he kind of trots over. He's like, how do?
Hey, we've heard the news that the apple bloom has disappeared.
He's like,
But don't worry, we're here to
my
help.
little sister.
The mayor has specifically asked us to go and hunt them down.
Oh, and you see his eyes kind of go wide. He's like, whoa, thank you. Oh, how can I help?
Well, we were hoping to get some clues to find out where they went.
Yep.
Could you take us to their little headquarters?
Yep. And he kind of like nods and he kind of gets into a trot and he's like, follow me. And he trots his way. And he leads you through the big apple orchard, which smells wonderful.
I'm just like, the fruit's amazing.
Yeah, and you can see that they're really healthy trees and things like that. It's not quite bucking season, so the apples are still a little bit small, but the smells and the wafts.
They're coming along well.
They're coming along very well. And you guys make your way to, you see it's clearly a treehouse that has been rebuilt several times. The wood is all a little bit wonky and nails are kind of like, it's been sort of reattached and like bolted on with other bits of wood and things like that. But you see a kind of ramshackle treehouse, small ramp leading up to it, and then a second ramp leading up to like a little observational point with a little telescope sticking out of it, and it looks around across all of Ponyville. And he points up, he's just like, we already looked inside, but it's just a big mess, I couldn't find anything. And he just looks quite sad. He's like, please find my little sister Apple Bloom. Applejack won't let me forget it if we lose her. And he just like looks really like kind of wide-eyed, and you can see little like looking quite sad.
We got you, fam.
It's just like, and he kind of nods his hand. It's just like, I'm gonna go keep searching. You come find me if you need anything.
Of course, thank you so much.
Yep.
Good luck.
And he heads off and he trots back towards the barn. And yeah, you guys see this this kind of ramshackle treehouse. It's big enough that you guys can make your way in there. It's not like you have to squeeze in. Entering the treehouse itself, it's a big mess. You can see that it's the walls are covered in Daring Do posters, a big map of Ponyville that seems to be drawn with crayon. It's got some notes written on it in various locations. There's photos of 3 fillies, an orange one with purple mane, a white one with a kind of pink and purple mane, and then a yellow pony with red hair and a big bow in her hair as well. And scattered around the room, you can see all sorts of weird things. Broken hockey sticks. You can see sort of like a glider that's kind of been salvaged from being broken. But there's also scattered notes and old-looking books, which seem to have been kind of spread out haphazardly. And yeah, you just look around this, and it's definitely... You get the sense that there's definitely some clues here, but you're not quite sure what. So what would you like to investigate?
The map. I
Okay.
guess first, like, read the notes on the map and see.
So this is the map that you see.
Oh,
So-
that's adorable.
So if you
It's
hold
so
that up,
cute.
So if you can hold that up, Martina,
Yeah.
just to the thing. I'll do a close-up of that. So yeah, and it seems to have been drawn by the little fillies themselves, and it's kind of the main port of Ponyville. And yeah, you can see that some locations have been circled in red and strange notes written beside them.
Okay. What do all these symbols mean? So,
I'm not sure.
HHP44. Oh, are they page numbers? It's a book
There
and
are
then the page number.
books scattered around.
Okay, I think we need to tidy up this mess because it's giving me a little bit of a headache, and you can't really find things in mess.
It's,
Well,
it's so
I-
messy everywhere.
Oh,
I think first we should look for clues, and then we can nap, and then maybe we should tidy.
no, I mean to look for clues. We don't.
Put it into piles. And
Yeah.
folders.
Oh, right, yes,
I mean,
that
it
works
is
too.
because the paper is scattered everywhere. There's like broken yo-yos and a deflated basketball, and there's just all clutter around.
I'm
and
just
it's
saying
kind
we
of
have more
obscuring
chances
some
of
things.
finding things if the place is a little bit more tidy and we don't just navigate the mess.
Okay.
Cleaning
point.
montage.
Okay. So, Honeymoon, you're going to start tidying up.
Yes.
Bubblegum Blossom is checking out the map.
I'm
gonna-
keeping an eye
well,
out for
no,
things
okay.
that will.
Oh, you want to try
I'm
and
going to
find...
collect all the books.
You collect
I
up all the
see
books,
into
okay.
a pile.
I help.
Okay, so you're going to help with the books, right? Okay. So, the 2 of you find 4 books that look kind of out of place, judging by their titles. Whereas
Oh.
you, Honeymoon, find 4 drawings scattered amongst the mess, which if you hadn't cleaned up, you wouldn't have found them. And you find these.
Oh,
boy, okay.
what the?
Okay, we got
That's-
a headless horse. Princess Luna said he's not real. Unlikely.
So
Oh.
there's one.
Kind of looks like me, which is terrifying. Same color.
You kind of like see this picture and it's like, oh!
It's like
I think
Nightmare
I dreamt
Honeymoon.
about that. Yeah, exactly. And then we have a green ghost train. Way too scary and no pony's ever really seen it. Unlikely.
Oh.
That one.
Oh, okay.
And then we have gruesome groom, prince who was cursed, not a ghost, so wouldn't want unlikely.
And I hope you are enjoying my
Adorable.
crayon drawings.
Yes.
My
Beautiful.
desperate attempt to draw like a child.
I'm so impressed.
Giggly ghost.
Pony's always
Bonnie's always telling stories of giggling ghosts.
great
Must
handwriting.
be this one. Of course, they're kids.
They're kids. Of course they've got bad
Exactly.
handwriting.
What do
It's
they
definitely
mean?
not my handwriting.
Okay, okay.
I wonder
I
if
did
they're
it on
related to the
purpose.
books. So the books we found are Monsters and Myths in Equestria, Haunted History of Ponyville,
Legends of Equestria, and Star Swirl Spirit Guide.
Okay.
So
Look at the map.
so the Grey Windsor house, which has been circled, has HHP 44. That must be Haunted History, right? What else we got? Monsters, Myths. So that's what MME, page 86. So I'm gonna look those two up.
Well,
and then,
why don't you flip your cards over?
well, okay, let's check out the Grey Windsor house.
And then that's what's on the page when you
the
check it
giggling
out.
ghost.
The Giggling Ghost has long been a scary tale told at campfires and sleepovers. Many brave fillies and colts are sent to knock on the manor's door and return, only to be scared off by the ghostly giggle.
Oh, I think
I am.
You did that on purpose.
I'm reading through these and going. These all sound so convincing. These must. I didn't know these were all real. This is
Lily Pod is just
terrifying.
like, oh, especially, yeah, and then, it seems to be that, like I said, the passages match up to certain things. So, yeah.
Ah.
So we got the giggly ghost is green, like you,
Oh,
apparently.
no.
Are you the
Oh,
giggly
no.
ghost?
I don't think so.
Okay, we're good. We're fine.
What do you all say? Do you want to read? What's the Evergreen Forest one say? LOE.
Legends of Equestria. Pony superstition tells an old tale of a prince who was cursed by an old witch unicorn. Turned into a horrid beast, the gruesome groom haunts the halls of the two sisters. I can't finish it. You've got to read it.
Oh, it's okay, friend. I got you. Gruesome groom haunts the halls of the two sister castle and preys on any unicorns who travel there. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm all right.
Give me a moment.
Oh,
You kind of like scoot over to a corner,
does that relate to
find
any
like a
of
bag, you
these?
feel like a brown bag.
So should we start
Gruesome
putting them
groom
down?
says that one, but that is unlikely, and that was the Evergreen Forest.
It sounds pretty likely to me.
The Monsters and Myths in Equestria, that's pointing to Canterlot. And it says, the headless horse is a supernatural sight, rumored to have been seen all across Equestria and is often the subject of scary stories. Witnesses have said to see this figure on the road at night, but usually it is a prank.
Unlikely, it says.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
What?
It sounds like
Unlikely,
you.
unlikely.
Why
Hey.
does it look like you?
I mean, it's a very fashionable color. And, you know, I work at night. It's not like I'm just there brushing my mane.
Have you been pranking people?
I don't. I don't do that.
Okay.
if you say so.
I'm pretty honest, as my character sheet will tell you.
That's true, and I'm pretty gullible, as
Certainly my
mine will
character
tell
is
you.
honest, so you have to trust me.
Exactly. But
I
anyway,
trust everybody.
So what's the last one for you? The rail tracks.
The Star Swirl Spirit Guide. Yet to be proven, it's probably true. Ghost train to Cerberus. Supposedly a magical ghostly train runs along the tracks on a full moon and takes any passengers to the realm of Cerberus. Little evidence to support that's completely true.
Oh,
that's
Oh.
that also says unlikely, so it's going
Spooks.
the unlikely cards.
well
There.
then,
I think that's our lead.
I
if that's
don't
the
like
lead,
this.
then
It's
in
okay, we
that
protect
points to Grey Windsor's house. So
So,
that must be where they were going.
Bubblegum Blossom, because who among you has lived in Ponyville for a while? Because have some of you moved to Ponyville, or have you been a resident in Ponyville for some time?
I think I'd been there.
You've been there for a while, okay.
I would say somewhat recently because I want to spread all the pretty cherry blossoms
Okay,
across
so
the kingdom.
So, honeymoon. Why don't you make a mind test for me? And it is day, so it's a D4 for you.
Yes, it is.
Try your best.
That's a 1.
A 1. Unfortunately, a 1 is just bad luck. You kind of Grey Windsor. That's a T. You're like, oh, that's. You're just like, oh, he's the pony that makes all the lovely tea.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's
I
what
could
you.
use some caffeine right now. Speaking of tea, but no, let's focus. I'm focused.
Okay.
I think we should go to the place you said.
Okay, let's just go. If there's tea, that's great. Not touching my bubble gum.
So you guys just want to make your way straight to
Yeah.
Grey Windsor Manor, which
Yeah.
is a building that is on the outskirts of Ponyville and borders on the Everfree Forest. Okay, so you guys are just going to head there and go straight there. Okay.
I'm bringing all of this
You're
with
just going
us.
to pack it up into your saddlebags?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you
Nice.
write down, just make a note that you have
All of that.
various books on ghosts.
Various
Books.
Okay.
Books. Good.
Books.
And I got the drawings as well.
Books. I didn't even realise that. That's great. Okay. So with that, we're going to wrap up this episode, and we will do some more in the next one on Tails of Equestria.
Oh, it's too spooky.